Hey, Tom Knezek here with another nursery walk. Just want to show you some of the things that are going on at the nursery this week. I do this every week, and if you are interested in seeing what we are doing here at Pinelands Nursery, hit subscribe and you'll keep seeing the new videos that come out. A lot going on, even though it's the first week of November. This whole field is slated for we're basically going to regrade it next spring, or this winter going into next spring, to level off the growing area. We've been doing one field at a time. You can see this one's pretty nice already, and then down that way we've already done that. This is what's next up on the docket, which means pulling a lot of these plants out of here so we can get the equipment in and remove all the irrigation, remove all the weed mat, and get started on that project so we can have more nice growing areas to grow some plants like this, like our tubelings. And this is actually white oak, and some of them are still a little bit green, but you can see that nice red color on some of these. Some of the leaves are starting to really brown up and start to fall off, but these things are looking really cool this year. They get a really nice red color, and they're just beautiful plants, especially at this size. And see if I can pull one out and show the roots off. So that's kind of what we're getting for roots on these. A lot of them get a little bit better rooted than that, but really nice plants. Then just over here, these are what really caught my eye, is the scarlet oak, which is Quercus coccinea, and these are looking really nice as well. That's why they get their name, that scarlet oak, just because of that bright scarlet color that these turn. So two beautiful oaks down here. We have a bunch more actually, and you can kind of see how they're all mostly red, but some varying shades in there. Oh, these are really nice down here. And that's pin oak is what these are. These got a little bit more orange in them, maybe even a little yellow in some of them. These are looking really good. So, and this is probably a little bit taller than what we're shooting for on these. We try and keep them definitely less than 18 inches, usually between 6 and 12 inches. That's a good size of transplant. And this is actually what we'll use to grow all of our larger pots, is we're growing our own tubelings. This is what we'll move into, depending on the species, into a 1, 2, or 3 gallon, or even a 7 gallon at times. And but we offer them for sale as well, whether it's restoration jobs or other nurseries. They'll actually use these for some of their container production. So that's just some of the stuff that we have going on this week, but I have some other things backed up in the main part of the nursery, so let's head up there. So here's something else that looks really good right now, and that is our northern bayberry, or Morella pennsylvanica. Now we have these in a number 1 pot, but these things are looking awesome, and these will get quite a bit bigger, probably about twice the size next year. But they're saleable now. We like to see them a little bit bigger before they go out the door. But this is a really great plant because it has like a semi-evergreen leaf. If these are healthy, this will stay pretty green and won't drop its leaves. But if you get super cold winters or more adverse conditions, they can drop their leaves as well. But these are looking awesome right now. And another really cool plant, they get a berry when they're mature, and that's where the bayberry candles come from. And people I've met actually still make their own bayberry candles out of the berries from this plant. So really unique plant, one that I really like. And yeah, but there's some more stuff to show you here. Actually, we've talked about our 7 gallon Ilex Opaca, but we also have them in a 2 gallon and a tubling as well. But here's those 2 gallons here, so they're looking really nice as well. But we have more on the way. Here's another cool plant that, although you can't smell it, I can, and that is sweet fern, and our Comptonia peregrina. And not a true fern. This is actually a woody plant. It turns into a small shrub, really common in the New Jersey pine barrens. That's where I see it quite a bit actually. But it's a very fragrant plant, and you can probably hear me run my fingers through the leaves because that kind of releases some of the aroma. But before we had covered this house, you could just smell this plant just by driving by, and it was like almost overwhelming how fragrant this plant is. And one of the things I found out about this plant is you can actually cook with it, and it'll give a little bit of flavor to whatever you cook with. And the seed heads are actually edible as well. I wouldn't say they are super flavorful. They're not going to become your new favorite snack, but they are edible, and I've popped a couple in my mouth and chewed them up, and they weren't bad. So, but it's another just really unique looking plant, and something that if you're into something that has a little bit, is going to set a mood with a fragrance. This is a really cool plant for that. So, and there's one more thing I want to show you. So I mentioned in the last video that some of the stuff we do, we'll actually put it in seedling beds. Well, this is what I mean by that. I actually take a lot of our woody plants and we'll just seed directly into some of our potting mix in this wooden frame. And so this actually looks like it was just seeded, and this was Quercus rubra. So they would have taken red oak acorns and then planted them right in the soil here, and next year they'll start to germinate, and that allows us to go through and actually pull out these plants when they get bigger. Now this is that morella that I just showed you in our 1 gallon. So now, okay, we get a big order for morella. Well, we have a place where they're growing, they're seedling, and we can take these and transplant them into typically a tubling, and it gives us a little bit more time to respond than if we had to start it from seed. When you guys call us up and say, hey, I'm looking for this plant, we don't always have it right when you ask, but as long as you don't need it right away, if you need it in 6 months, a year, even sometimes with some of their herbaceous material, we only need maybe 2 or 3 months. We can get that germinated and actually to a mature and saleable size pretty quickly. That's one of the things that makes us special. And we have quite a few of these seedling beds, and we actually just started rebuilding some of them because some were getting a little old, so we had to get some new wood and build some more. But this is where Glenn Rogers, our propagator, really shines. This is one of his favorite spots to be and where he does a lot of work. One of the things that we do makes us a little bit unique and able to respond to some of these sales calls pretty early on. We can get a crop out the door a lot faster than if we were just doing it from seed when you guys called. But thank you again for watching this week. I have a lot of fun doing these. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you're enjoying these, please subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what else you want us to do, because I got to fit a bunch in over the winter. So there's some really cool things we do here that I figured I can do over the winter and show you some of why it's still busy, even though we aren't really growing plants at that time of year. So until next time, I'm Tom Knezick.